This is a paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Ang buhay, buhay, buhay sa Amerika. Mabubuhay ka sa Amerika kahit mahirap ka ha. Basta't kasama mo, kababayan mo, maligaya ka na dito sa Amerika. Sa buhay-buhay sa Amerika.
Uy mga Hola mga kababayan, this is Ria Luz live at Entre Mujeres Radio for our episode of Buhay sa Amerika in celebration of the 31st anniversary of Women's Federation for World Peace. I am so glad and empowered because I will be joined by amazing women led by my co-host today, Miss Glenda Lambert of the Global Women's Peace Network, Southwest Region Coordinator. Glenda, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So happy to see everybody. Please come on, bring your girlfriends, everybody to see this amazing show. And I'm so grateful to be here because I'm with my best pal. Yeah,
Yes.
Rita, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Glenn, for joining me. I just wish you were next to me here because I know you have to go back to work and teach. Glenda is a professor here in Arizona. Glenn, are we ready to welcome our guest today?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go for it.
So let's welcome. First, let's welcome the one who's been working with us for so many years. She's the immediate past president of Women's Federation for World Peace, USA, and now is the national advisor of Women's Federation for World Peace, USA. Let's welcome Dr. Angelika Selle.
Hello, everyone. Buenos dias. Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Thank you for being here, Dr. Angelika Selle. I know you're so busy, and we really appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Glenn, are you ready to welcome our next guest?
Wonderful speaker, our newly elected, wonderful looking, beautiful looking. I almost want to call her Dr. Kaeleigh, but we're going to go with Miss Kaeleigh Moffitt, our new Women's Federation USA President. Welcome, 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 Kaeleigh.
Wow, thank you so much. I feel so honored to be here. And I just have to say, I love the bright energy that's coming out of this group of women. I'm excited to join both of you today. Thank you.
Well, we're grateful that you are here, President Kaeleigh. Imagine, Glenn, we didn't just have Women's Federation for World Peace celebration in Arizona, but this is now a worldwide celebration because we got our powerful leaders of Women's Federation with us. Thank you so much for joining. So I know that our President Angelika Selle, or Dr. Angelika Selle, our national advisor, has just passed the baton of this great responsibility to our new president. But I wanted to just to mention and recognize her for all the works that she has done for Women's Federation. In fact, the Buhay sa Amerika show came about because of her support. So thank you, Dr. Angelika Selle.
You're very welcome. So proud of the show and proud of you.
Thank you. And Glenn, do you have any question for our President Kaeleigh?
Well, yeah, absolutely. There's so many great questions. And one of the questions that I was really thinking about is, please share with us what inspired you to, first of all, lead our, Women's Federation USA for so many years, Angelika, and what is causing you to now become a national advisor?
Oh, well, it's an interesting story. It all begins with a story, right? When I was asked to take this role back in 2010, I actually said no. And then I prayed about it. And based on my background in reconciliation, I was a pastor pastoring a congregation at the time, and I thought, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this women thing. However, when I read the foundation and the founding of Women's Federation and the announcement of the arrival of the era of women, I deeply prayed about that. And I thought, wow, this is a whole new era that is amazing. And so I felt in my prayer that God wanted me to contribute something from my background in the area of reconciliation, spirituality. I love to work with next generation already. So I said yes. And then furthermore, I studied Mother Moon's words on, the founding and also her role and the women's role at this time that really blew me away, that women have such an important role to play, especially in the era of peacemaking. And it has been my passion from my childhood. I wanted to be a peacemaker, and I was always looking for leadership in that area. I studied many women leaders who've worked in that area, but there was really no one else than Mother Moon who has that combination of being sacred and secular at the same time.
Right.
She brings that into, so that inspired me to continue to take this role, and to the vision after vision evolved just in collaboration with the wonderful women that were already there on the foundation that was already made. There was already an incredible foundation, and I felt I just have to add to it, and to empower more women.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Angelika Selle. That doctor sounds really good on you. And we know much about our president, or past president, Dr. Angelika Selle, but we actually are so inspired to know more about our new president. I know taking the role of presidency of the Women's Federation for World Peace is not an easy task. She has to fill so many roles and shoes, but I know you have done so much as well in your previous work. Could you share with us some of those works that you do, and what inspired you to take on this Women's Federation for World Peace President USA role?
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, first of all, let me say that coming into this role, it is big shoes to fill, but what I really feel is actually an overwhelming amount of love and support from all of the women who have been working in Women's Federation these many, many years. And it's really humbling for me, really, it is. And I'm just so grateful. Both Ria and Glenda, you have really supported me from day one, and I feel so grateful for that. But also, Dr. Selle here has been the greatest champion and cheerleader for me in this process. So I really have to tip my hat to her, because I couldn't be where I am right now, feeling comfortable and stepping into new situations without her investment. So thank you, Dr. Selle. And before this role, I was serving in another organization that was founded also by Mother Moon, and I was working for a Universal Peace Federation, working especially with peace and security, and I was working as a congressional liaison. And I'm really just astounded by Mother Moon's vision for how to bring people together for the sake of a common cause, despite our differences, despite our boundaries, whatever may, be in between our personal relationships. But she really tries to bring everyone together. And that was my experience. And when you bring all those people together for a common cause, which is a more peaceful world, then you end up with some amazing results. And that has been my experience these last few years. So when this opportunity to become involved in Women's Federation came up, I also really had to think and pray, as Dr. Selle said, right? It's not an easy yes, but I can also say I was at the same time in my own journey of really understanding the woman's role in society, which is not always represented in the work that I was doing before. And Mother Moon is a perfect example of a woman leader that I want to become like, that I really want to learn from. So that, looking at her example, looking at all of the amazing work that has happened over the past 31 years is what really pushed me to say, you know what, this is the right time and I'm in the right place to be able to step into this amazing world of Women's Federation.
Wow.
Awesome.
You are definitely the right fit for this job.
Yeah, can I just add here? I'm so thrilled when Mrs. Kaeleigh Moffitt stepped forward, because I felt this is a woman prepared by the divine God to lead the next level of the Women's Federation. So, and she's an amazing woman of the heart, of spirit, of truth, of honesty. I mean, you will get to know her. Just the best is yet to come. I can say that.
Yes.
Right. That's great because I can feel it from her. I've never really personally seen or talked with her, but I can just feel your spirit and your heart and your love. And, working towards something as wonderful and great, what Mother Moon is truly looking for, her vision. So thank you so much for taking it on, Kelly. We really are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And since we're talking about women leadership, we talk about the logic of love, living the logic of love. Could you expound to those who doesn't know Women's Federation, what is this living with the logic of love, and an example for others that they can also join in and be joining this wagon of women living the logic of love? President Kaeleigh or Dr. Angelika Selle?
Well, it so happens that this quote comes from one of my favorite quotes of Mother Moon, and it starts with, "History is calling for compassion, love, service, and sacrifice. Today's problems cannot be solved by the power of logic, but only by the power of love." The logic of love, sorry. Logic of love. So what is the logic of love? It is certainly what we can call soft power that is not by force. It is love that comes from the heart, love that loves the unlovable, love that is loving the enemy. And that is the most difficult, in fact. And when I deeply thought about it, I felt this is not a new message in a way, because 2,000 years ago we heard that message: love God with all your heart and love your neighbor like yourself. But very few people can really practice that.
Right.
But it is practiced. And when I always look at the image of a black mother, a slave mother, who is nursing the white babes in her breasts. That is true love. That is when you go beyond your own pain, your own suffering, and you love others. And that's what I also found in Father and Mother Moon. It's their hallmark, I would say, that they have loved. That's why it makes sense to me, because I saw them doing it, loving the enemy over and over and over, wherever they came from, whatever was thrown in their path. They never, ever stopped loving them or retaliated. And that is profound. So certainly I also challenge myself, and I know as a peace leader, you have to be able to do that.
Right.
And it's the most difficult because you have to put yourself in the back. You have to be patient. You have to be forgiving, and these kind of things.
And
That's the logic of love. It's a lifestyle,
that's
but it can be done.
That's wonderful. Thank you for such beautiful explanation of the logic, living the logic of love. And how about our President Kaeleigh? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, just to extend what Dr. Selle was talking about, I can see this concept, how important it is in my own daily life, right? There's the big picture of forgiving the world and healing the pains of the world. But I'll say even in my marriage and in my parenting, the logic of love is my secret weapon that gets me through some very difficult moments.
I like that.
When you're in the difficult moment with your husband and he's not doing what you want him to do, right? Do I lean on logic? Do I lean on this is the right thing to do? No, that doesn't help my relationship. But when I lean on the logic of love and when I speak from that space, then naturally the relationship grows. Same thing with my children. I have 3 young children, and it's not easy all the time.
Mhm.
And I have to catch myself, right? Make sure my temper doesn't come through, make sure I'm patient. And the only way to get through it is making sure I'm leaning on that love piece. Not this is the right thing, why aren't they behaving the way I want them to, but what's my role? Where am I coming from as the mother representing this unconditional love? So I'm not perfect, I'm not saying that, but it's the one that I try to come back to all the time in my personal life.
Oh,
Wow, we are
awesome.
just blown away by these 2 amazing women, powerful women. And thank you so much, Dr. Selle and President Moffitt, for such beautiful explanation of Living the Logic of Love. Now you know why we have that as our title for our show, right, Glenn?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many wonderful stories, people living by the power of love. And
Yes.
just listening to those two ladies here, it's just amazing how people can go beyond themselves and really love their enemies, their family, their husband, everybody, And I have to honestly say, if I quickly can say something here to Ria, if that's still okay,
Yes.
I will never forget the time when Mother Moon went, and we lovingly call her like this, Dr. Hakihan, we call her Mother Moon. When she went to Africa and stand at the door, no return, and could do the prayer there, that changed my life forever as a Black woman. So I'm so extremely grateful to this woman who is Asian, could go there and truly pray, send a wonderful deep prayer for all those that went on the boat and for those that were still alive, really bring that restoration. And for me, she restored something in my heart. And I will never forget that gesture that she made, how it historically and also in a beautiful way restored my own heart. So I'm so grateful for this incredible woman in my life.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Glenn. That is why we need to hashtag Living for the Logic of Love. If you can hashtag
absolutely.
WFWP on your comments today and share this video, share this information, because this is not just among us. Living for the Logic of Love is for all men and women in the whole world to be able to experience and make this as a true lifestyle. So with that, Glenn, I wanted to ask Javier to play with us this video of Lina Yasutake to share with us what is Women's Federation even more. Javier, would you like to play it for us? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lina Yasutake, and I'm here today representing Women's Federation for World Peace. Who we are is women working together to establish a culture of heart in the family, community, nation, and world in order to achieve genuine and sustainable peace under God. How we do that is through empowering women with knowledge, skills, and a supportive community to discover their unique value and bring lasting peace. What does it look like? Service projects in your community, reconciliation through our Interracial Sisterhood Project, and our Bridge of Peace ceremony, our leadership training and family education, as well as our international projects in Haiti, the Philippines, and our schools of Africa, where we provide basic medical care, HIV and AIDS prevention, vocational training, and education. We need your help. We are sustained and supported by our members. Become a member today. It's easy. Go to WFWP.US and join in just 5 minutes. Together, we can make a lasting difference. Let's create world peace.
That's why you should become a member and visit Women's WFWP.US today, right? Thank you so much for that beautiful video, Glenn, right?
Beautiful.
That's why as we are on our 31st anniversary of Women's Federation, come and support this amazing organization and be a member by visiting WFWP.US today. I think that's a great way to segue our talking about living for the logic of love. But I'm sure all of you has some women who inspired you to live such logic of love. Who among the women leaders of today would you consider the woman who inspired you the most? President Angelika?
Maybe President Kaeleigh can go first on this one.
All right.
Sure. Well, I can't not, the woman who immediately comes to mind is our founder, Mother Moon, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon. And I can really say that her impact on my life has been transformative in every shape and form, from the family level to how I see my community, how I see the world. In her book, she has a memoir that was released a few years ago, Mother of Peace here. And that's really what she's become known as, is this mother of peace. Because she looks, as Glenda was just sharing, I'm so grateful you shared that story, because Mother Moon really embraces every nationality, every culture, every race, every religion with this motherly heart for the world.
Right.
And there's just something so healing about that. I think the world really needs a mom right now to deal with all the pain that's surfacing at this time. So there's one passage that I just wanted to read that I think really represents her motherly heart, the forgiving heart. And this is at the very beginning of her memoir. She says, "Like a person who is beside herself with desperation, I embrace the world again and again, loving all your children as my own. With my whole heart, I embrace even those among your children," she's talking to our Creator, God, "and those children who, unaware of the truth, have misunderstood and even persecuted me. As I do, you heal the wounds that they inflict."
Wow,
And I'm
powerful.
yeah, amazing, right? I'm so
Powerful.
struck by that, because here's this woman who's trying to embrace the whole world and bring people together. She holds conferences all over the world to bring leaders together, faith leaders, political leaders, economic leaders, to put their skills towards a better future. And yet she's talking about those who, not understanding what she's trying to do, persecute her and hurt her. And yet she really offers this heart of compassion, because she's got this motherly heart for the world. So I have to say, number one, if I had to choose any woman, Mother Moon is my role model. She's someone that I really look up to. And I'm pretty far from that standard, but I'm working on it. At least I have the goal, right?
Awesome.
Yes. And Dr. Angelika Selle?
Well, I cannot help but say how thrilled I am to hear my younger president saying those words about what I know, what I've experienced for the last 50 years. It's actually my 50th year. And I just want to add a couple things, of course, all of the above. I studied many women leaders and queens of Europe, in fact, because I wanted to be a queen. Doesn't every woman want to be a queen? And in a way we are. But where is the example? And so there was, of course, I studied about Joan of Arc, the saints, and Mother Teresa, and also secular, women leaders. But there is really no one like Mother Moon. And when I met her for the first time in 1973 in San Francisco at a banquet, she walked in. What I saw was inner and outer beauty, purity, and peace. Just by coming in the room. That was incredible. And she was very quiet in the many years while her husband was alive, right? But she also exemplified a wife. I have never seen such a relationship between a husband and a wife. Talking about marriages, this was, not only a woman leader, she's also a wife, showing us how to be a true mother, a true wife. And then she later on took the mantle, and we were surprised of her power and her brilliance and ingenuity to do what President Kaeleigh was just saying, to bring together leaders, men and women, youth, from every sector of life, the most diverse people, and embracing them with a mother's heart. And that heart set and mindset of never ever changing her commitment to God, that really moved me, because I'm a missionary myself. It's kind of a parallel. And she demonstrated that something amazing is actually still yet to come, right? By opening the era of women and her leading it in a very different way. It's a feminine way, not a feminist way. And so many women, like when we read that memoir, we can actually open a window to who we are because of who she is.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you
I
so
like
much.
what you said. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Glenn.
No, I just like what you said about the era of women.
Yes.
This is truly the time where women finally going to find out who they are, their value, their self-worth. And we have incredible women in this organization who has modeled that. And as you said, Dr. Angelika, you really have a great model. And it is for everybody of us here. The model, Dr. Hakihan Moon, is a truly visionary, creative, strong faith, determined woman who truly has just one thought, which is how can I bring the world back together, especially the tool that she's using is women, because we are so good in harmonizing coming together, bringing our families together. And from there, we go to another families and we create wonderful communities. So I love when you said that it is the era of women. Let's truly live the kind of purpose that we were meant to live. So I'm really, really grateful with that. Thanks so much, Dr. Selle.
Thank you too, Glenda, for reminding us about the era of women has arrived. In fact, this mentioned many times, and it was first mentioned by the founder of the Women's Federation for World Peace.
Right.
Dr. Reverend Sun Myung Moon is the one who started and proclaimed the era of women has arrived in 1992 when the Women's Federation for World Peace was established. Isn't that wonderful that you just mentioned about the era of women has arrived? And we are the fruit of that era. And what else we can do for this coming amazing years that we have lived on earth? So it's thank you for bringing that out, Glenn. So this is like a great opportunity for us to see the women coming out in the open and proclaiming our time has arrived. In fact,
Right.
one of our women leader here in Arizona, Councilwoman Christine Ellis, has recognized Women's Federation for World Peace and many times wanted us to be part of her project. And Javier would like to ask you to please play this amazing Councilwoman Christine Ellis greeting to the 31st anniversary of the Women's Federation for World Peace. Let's play.
My name is Christine Ellis, and I am the councilwoman in the city of Chandler. Today, I would like to take a moment to thank you, Mother Moon, for who you are, and to say happy anniversary. Today, I know it's your anniversary, and you are enjoying it, but we want to thank you for what you have done for women all over the world, giving us peace, understanding that peace starts with us. But more of all, you told us that living in the logic of love is very important. When we take that key of love, we can open every heart. And as we open those who are suffering, those hearts who are being bled because they are sick and there are things going on with them, it can turn on that heart to healing. We thank you for what you do all over the world, bringing women all from all over the world together. Today, again, I say happy anniversary. May God bless you. May you continue to be healthy and continue to bring women together from all over the world.
Awesome.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yes, the era of women has arrived.
Yes.
All these beautiful women. Before we started the show, we were talking about lipstick. And
Right.
since Women's Federation for World Peace are all women who wears lipstick, we were even mentioning about maybe a lipstick company can sponsor the Women's Federation for World Peace USA or the international. Hasn't that a wonderful proposal?
Yes.
Yeah, lipstick for peace.
Let's use
By the
our
logic of love.
yes, let's use our lips to promote peace, love, and harmony. As I was
I like
looking,
that.
as I was looking at our President Kaeleigh and President Angelika, she even mentioned earlier she's going to have her lipstick in her
Often.
yeah,
My coffee. My
because her
husband like this one.
that's right. So we wish our Vice President Katarina Connery is with us, and you were mentioning earlier how you were empowered and how you were inspired by our founder, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon. And I just want to mention her in this book. She actually mentioned what she learned from the Women's Federation. In fact, she said here, WFWP was an answer to my prayers, by Katarina Connery, the Vice President of Women's Federation for World Peace. And she mentioned, from Mother Moon, I have learned poise, grace, and strength while remaining true to a woman's divine feminine character and qualities. From the women of Women's Federation for World Peace USA, Canada, and beyond, I have been connected to true sisterhood, women who will cheer you up on and support you through thick and thin. That's why I am very proud to be a part of the Women's Federation for World Peace, USA, and ever since from the Philippines since 1992. I am who I am because of the Women's Federation for World Peace.
Absolutely, yeah. But we also don't want to forget the Japanese sisters who really worked hard, almost like making the foundation.
That's
You know,
right.
before the 1992 launching could happen. So they are a huge part in being the forerunners, as I would call that. Is that correct,
Yes.
Dr. Selle?
Yes, yes, definitely. Pioneers.
Yes.
Pioneers, before this. So I'm so grateful for our Japanese sisters who are working so hard in Japan, to make this a realization. So I'm so grateful for all the other sisters also all over the world. We're such a big international organization. You do not imagine. You need to really go online, WFWP.US, to really figure out what we're doing, who we are. Just as Lena said, we're an amazing organization with some amazing leadership. And of course, Arizona is doing some wonderful work too. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much. And you mentioned earlier about Dr. Hak Jahan Moon and the husband, Reverend Sang Myung Moon. Those two has inspired you? And do you have any personal stories about them in your work that you have met them, and what inspired you most about them? President
Yes,
Kaeleigh?
you go ahead.
It's my turn, right? Because I've been
Yes.
around.
Right.
Well, you know what? I tell you this. I cannot share any personal conversations I ever had with them, except very early on when I just joined. It was around here in America. Mother Moon asked me one time, "What is your name?" I was like 21. I was 21 at the time. That was yesterday, by the way. And and then she, I was just so honored to be in her presence because I felt that spirit. I could call it the Holy Spirit for lack of a better description, because she is that incredible, presence. But I had many opportunities to shake their hands in public occasions, many meetings and so forth. And it's always kind of official. However, because of my internal relationship with them, because by embracing the philosophy, by living that as much as we can, as President said, we are still not there, right? But the more we go into their shoes and do that, we have an incredible deep connection with both of them, because they do exactly that. It's like we never met Jesus, but if I do what he says, then I connect with him wherever I am. And that's how I felt about Father and Mother Moon. And so when we, of course, we had wonderful experiences. Actually, I do have one, not very personal, but in the 70s, they took our teams around in America to the International One World Crusade. And then at the end of the banquet, we were invited to McDonald's. And everyone got a Big Mac. It's they call it,
Big Mac.
what is it called? No, that is the ice cream thing. What is it called? Shake.
Like a milkshake?
An ice cream shake and a big fries, So, and then they were singing and dancing and singing Korean songs and joking around. And we felt they're not just our leaders, but they're very down to earth, very loving. And many times felt they were like really my parents, actually. And I did have a very deep experience, and I usually don't share that, but when one time before Father Moon passed, and I did sit in front of him with the women, and he called on us to please continue to work with his wife, Mother Moon,
Right.
and fulfill, I really felt his tears that he had
Yeah.
to fulfill his mission for God and for humanity. And it's the same heart of Mother Moon. And so they're both still working together in tandem, even though they're not together on Earth. And so, yeah, the experience is very deep. The more we step into their shoes and joining the cause of peace for real, this is real. And when we live for the logic of love. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, our President or Dr. Selle. How about President Kaeleigh?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly have not had so many personal experiences in a small room. You know, Father Moon passed when I was in my early 20s, but there's maybe two stories I can share. Just one point is, you know, when I've been to many big events where Mother Moon is speaking in front of thousands and thousands of people, which is nerve-wracking to begin with, right?
Right.
And it's after many people have spoken and very high-level famous people have spoken or performed. And when Mother Moon gets on stage, there's like a different energy that comes from her. And she's on stage and she's speaking from the heart and she's speaking very clearly. But so often you see Mother Moon shedding tears as she's speaking. And there's a different spirit that takes over when you see that, because you can feel this woman is really leading from her heart.
Right.
And that's what transforms lives. That's what transforms the world. So that in her leadership and my experiences, every time in that room, I can't help but start, you know, crying along with her, because it captivates you. And, you know, the other story I'll share is just recently, I wasn't there, but our international president, Mrs. Moriko Hori, was in Hawaii meeting with Mother Moon to talk about, you know, future plans and things like that. And, you know, in the middle of their meeting, Mother Moon decided to take Mrs. Hori shopping to a nearby, you know, area. And as they were shopping, they filled up eventually 4 huge suitcases full of clothes, not just for her, but they were for refugees from Ukraine. And so through Moriko Hori and the Women's Federation chapters, they were able to give Mother Moon's clothes to those refugees who were coming out of Ukraine into the Poland area. And it's just a story of first of all, Mother Moon's leadership, but also the heart of a mom, that even though we're busy planning and making sure things are going well, we have to be practical too. We have to make sure that the needs are taken care of first.
Absolutely.
Her example of leadership is always spot on there.
Yes.
Awesome.
True. And it's not just her leadership, but she is a woman who actually experienced all facets of what a woman has to go through. Had 14 children, now a grandmother and great-grandmother, and lost her husband, has lost so many children. I think every woman can relate to every facets of their lives, and that is what makes her a true and unique woman leader, because she will understand what every woman had been through.
Absolutely.
How about you, Glenn?
Yeah, I mean, just think about it, you know, 70 years being at the side of your husband and not having a divorce. That's amazing, you know. What is it that she has? You know, I want to know even more. But she truly inspires me, you know, her global leadership, I would say, and also not just being a global mom or grandma, but also being, you know, just in touch with something higher than herself, which is the creator. Everybody has a different name for him, but, you know, she's so in tune with that spiritual almighty being, you know, and you can feel it every time you're close to her. You're almost afraid to touch her because you might burn yourself. That's what I feel, you know, but it's such a glow that she gives. You know, not just to me, but to the whole environment that I'm in, you know. So it's amazing just being around her and her determination to really do what needs to be done, her conviction, I don't have words enough, people, you know.
Yes.
Just sharing my heart towards her. Yeah.
Very true, Glenn. In many times we saw her in far distant events, but you can feel her heart is there, burning, touch everyone, to feel the love of being with your mother. And so we're glad that we have these amazing women who experience that kind of leadership and personal experience with your mother. And do you have any other thing you wanted to ask them, Glenn?
Yeah, so, you know, I really want to find out, especially from President Kaeleigh. So now, what is your vision for our next generation leaders? because I know, everybody's going to follow you. Already my daughter was like, ooh, I like Kaeleigh. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of want to know, what is your vision? What is the kind of support you're going to need from us seasoned women? But at the same time, too, I would love you to express that and then see, how I can also go back and tell other young women.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear your daughter's excited. When I look back on maybe my course to getting here, I can really see how so many important things happened in my life, because prior to the many different responsibilities I had, I was mostly working with young people, and that was my passion. I was a youth pastor for 10 years in my local church, and then I moved on to work for Family Federation and building this national network of, high schoolers and young adults who were passionate and wanted to do something good in the world. And so many amazing relationships came out of that. And now when I see coming into Women's Federation, naturally, it's been such a beautiful experience. Naturally, as I come in, other women my age are calling me and saying, well, what can I do? How can I get involved? How can I help? And I'm thrilled by that. I'm shocked and I'm humbled. And I know it's not about me, right? It's about the universe and the higher power working together to make this happen. And I'm just the channel for that to happen. But the other part of that is when I started training under Dr. Selle to take on this role, I said many times, right, Angelika, I said, this is a living, breathing, thriving organization. And it's it's so awesome to come into, because there's so much already happening and so much that can be built from that. And so it's not like we're inviting the next generation of women to start something completely new. It's, hey, check out, there's already so much happening. And, especially Glenda and Rhea on this show, I can't wait to be working more closely together, because you both are like the superheroes of this realm and really working with women and reaching women. But my generation of women haven't had that experience yet. So we need you to help train them, because it's scary, right? You don't know what you're doing. But both of you lead with such a genuine heart, right? I can imagine any woman who meets you is touched by you, because you care so much about them. Your passion is sincere. So we just have to, the young women I think are out there and ready, and our seasoned women, we need you to bestow your wisdom and help them get to the place where they can carry on this amazing tradition.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank
We will do that, Kaeleigh.
Thank you, I'm counting on it.
We're here for you. And that's what Women's Federation is all about, trying to empower and encourage one another. And this is one more question. This is for our Dr. Angelika Selle. We've known you also have worked so many years, and you have set some legacy for the Women's Federation for World Peace. What would you like to tell your great-great-grandchildren to know? Or if you would write a letter to them, what would be that letter be?
Oh, it's a good question. When I think about legacy in the last 13 years or beyond, I think about relationships of the heart. That's what I'd like to be known for, actually. And that's what this was one of my thread going through all these years, to create relationships of the heart. But I would say, beloved children, first of all, know who you are.
Yeah.
You are priceless sons and daughters of God. He is the one who loves you the most, who gave you all the gifts and talents. I would ask them to please use those gifts and talents, to learn as much as they can, and use those gifts and talents for a greater purpose, or the higher good, or for peace, for something good that they can bequeath to their children.
Right.
To also always love and respect their parents, and to learn relationships of in the family, because the family is really the school of love, and practicing that, like earlier President Kaeleigh was saying, you have to learn that logic of love, especially with our spouses, especially with our children. So Yeah, I would just encourage them to believe in themselves also, and to be confident, and to just contribute to make the world a better place.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Love that.
How about President Kaeleigh? I know you have something to share too.
Well, I can't top what Angelika just shared, but maybe I think, my husband and I have a motto in our family, and we have it on our wall above all of our family pictures, and it's, "You are loved." And, we think about whatever our children decide, wherever they go, we want them to most of all know they're loved by us, of course, by their grandparents, extended family, but also by our Creator, which we refer to as our Heavenly Parent. And I almost annoy my children now, because every day when I drop them off at school, I give them a hug and a kiss, and I say, "Do you know who you are?"
There you go. There you go. You're already doing it.
Yes, Mom, I know, I'm God's daughter. But that's so important. That's the most important thing I want them to know. No matter what happens in their life, is you are God's child. That's where your value comes from. And with that, you can do anything. So I would hope that passes on to all future generations. Yeah.
I think that is powerful. Thank you so much. You are loved.
Yes.
And you are Heavenly Parents' child. I think that's very empowering already. I feel loved. How about you, Glenn?
Well, I'm going to adopt Dr. Angelika and President Kaeleigh's points. And I'm just going to add on to, if you're going to empower your child with words, you want to do it with really clear, I would say, for example, if I say, "You're amazing, you're such an amazing child or daughter." And my daughter would always come back, "What do you mean with amazing?"
True.
And I was like, let me think about it. And then I had to say, "Oh, you know what? Last night I was so tired, and I had to do the dishes. It was my turn. And I was so tired, I went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, it was done. The kitchen looked fabulous. And that was so amazing." So I think it's very good to let our kids know that they're amazing, but at the same time to go a little bit deeper and see what is it that they did that they are so amazing. So I think I want to share that a little bit more.
Thank you, Glenn. That's excellent and a great, powerful example for all of us women and moms to use. We are closing to our end of our program. Voice America also has promoting upcoming events in our community. So I'd like to ask Javier to please share with us on screen our upcoming events in Arizona. Here is this April 15 and 16, the Consular Outreach Mission is coming to Phoenix, Arizona at Camelback Hotel in Phoenix. And next one, Gabi Concepcion is coming to Arizona for musical dinner soiree this coming July 11, 2023.
Awesome.
Especially, there's a business mixer this coming May 4th on 5 to 7 p.m. Contact Miss Ethel Losario for your attendance. And this is another event of Global Women's Peace Network led by Miss Glenda Lambert. Glenda, can you share?
Sure. It's going to be our annual mother-daughter brunch. And it's going to be at a really wonderful little restaurant called Chinetta's on Mill. And it is from 10 o'clock till 2, where the women and their daughters will come. We have wonderful enough food that we're going to be sharing. We're going to have some great story, maybe some personal pictures. It's going to be wonderful. So, yeah, please come. And I hope you can, call us or maybe email me, and we can then talk a little bit more.
Yes. And email you at what number?
You can maybe email me at global, so GWPN Arizona@gmail.com.
Thank you, Glenn. And the next one we have is Panogs are having their 3rd anniversary celebration on June 24, 2023. Contact any Fanog member, especially AJ Manabat and Melody, Amy, or AJ for information to support this event. Next one is save the date for June 10. for Philippines 125th Independence Day celebration. So it's from June 10, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Contact Ms. Jen Pacto Aquino and the rest of amazing leaders who are working on this project. Thank you so much. Another one is on stage, Kata and Mike on stage on July 14 at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now and see you on this events in Arizona. Thank you so much, Javier, for showing us all these upcoming events. We got to show is this upcoming events. And so Women's Federation also has many upcoming events in not only in Arizona, but throughout America and the world. We want you to celebrate Women's Federation for World Peace 31st anniversary all throughout the year, right, Dr. Selle and our President Kaeleigh? So become a peace leader, join the Women's Federation for World Peace by going to WFWP.US today. Just click this website. Thank you so much, Javier, for sharing. Any other things that you wanted to share as we are closing our show? Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, this is a wonderful newsletter. It's called Logic of Love. We talked about that today. That's the team. And you can go online, and it's going to be on WFWP.US, and then you're going to have to tap one of those, how to become a member, but also there is a little tab where you can become, where you can get a newsletter for free. So I think you should go so you can kind of familiarize yourself with what's happening. And if you're inspired, you can then go to the membership and say, you know what, I want to support this organization. I really want to be part of this group. And so I'm going to invest in a very wonderful membership drive here. So please, please, please come on. We would love to see, would love to talk to you and reach out. Thank you.
Yes, Glenn, and especially for students, for only $30, it's the beginning membership. And this is an international organization that's for 1 year. And there's many tiers of being a member. And to be a part of this amazing organization would be wonderful. So Women's Federation for World Peace USA, WFWP.US today. President Kaeleigh, any parting words?
Thank you so much. I apologize. One of my children almost jumped into this. They wanted to be on this wonderful talk show.
Bring them.
Why not?
Bring them in.
Bring it in.
Yes.
But I really wanted to say thank you. This has been such a wonderful experience, and I'm so thrilled to be working with wonderful women like you, and all those that are listening. I'm looking forward to being able to partner with all of you because, like we said, this really is the era of women. And I know if we pool our efforts and our energies together, we can really make a better world for the future. Thank you for having me join you today.
Thank you so much. And
thank you.
President Dr. Angelika Selle?
Yes, I echo those same words. Thank you so much, Ria, for having us, and Glenda, and for having made such a great foundation in Arizona. And I know that many, many, many more women will be joining because of our new president, and our seasoned women will go to the next level because we are not finished yet. So stick around. I really call on you. We're not done yet, right? President Kaeleigh needs us all to get even greater impact and expand our networks, so that we can truly be the turning point for peace and celebrate this month our womanhood. Let's celebrate ourselves and celebrate womanhood.
And you can invite your children to come join us as we say goodbye to this program. But I'm sure many...
They ran away by now. But
those viral videos that the children just pass by, right?
When you work from home, that's how it is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So Glenn, anything else that you wanted to share?
Oh, I just want to say how I am so delighted to have Dr. Angelika Selle and our new president, Kaeleigh Moffitt, here on the show. Buhay, Buhay, Amerika. I love this show, by the way. And I'm so grateful that, Ria felt so pushed to start it, and she ran with it. And here we are today, 5 years later, still running it. So I'm extremely proud of her, that she is doing this kind of work, not just for Women's Federation, but as you can see, with so many other wonderful organizations. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Dr. Angelika, Dr. President Kaeleigh. It's wonderful to have you on the show. And I hope that we're going to continue doing this because there's so much more to share. This hour is not enough.
That's right.
Rita?
And
we need 2 hours. Women need to talk more. So,
and as you mentioned, Glenn, Buhay sa Amerika has been a show because of Women's Federation for World Peace, and we are grateful that I was part of the Women's Federation for World Peace on its 25th anniversary celebration, and that's how I, through coming to the radio promoting this anniversary celebration, that's how Buhay sa Amerika came about. And our president, or Dr. Angelika Selle, was with us on the last promotion of that video, of that anniversary. And one thing I can tell our audience is Dr. Hak Jahan Moon has a vision bigger than anybody else. In fact, she has the vision like Jesus, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Her vision is to create a world of peace here on earth. And so if we connect to that vision, our dreams can be realized as well. I never knew that my dream of becoming a radio host can happen in my lifetime in America on a Spanish station. And so it is your ability, it is your coming together to support the Women's Federation for World Peace that can lift up your dream and make it into a reality. Not just a dream, but becoming a reality in creating a world of peace. I encourage all of you, join the Women's Federation for World Peace today and sign up to become a member. And who knows, you too can have your dream realized, not only here in America, but in the world as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And from here at Buhay sa Amerika in Arizona to the East Coast and throughout the world, we say goodbye, and we want to see you in many other projects of Women's Federation for World Peace. God bless you.
Bless you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lena Yasutake, and I'm here today representing Women's Federation for World Peace. Who we are is women working together to establish a culture of heart in the family, community, nation, and world in order to achieve genuine and sustainable peace under God. How we do that is through empowering women with knowledge, skills, and a supportive community to discover their unique value and bring lasting peace. What does it look like? Service projects in your community, reconciliation through our interracial sisterhood project, and our Bridge of Peace ceremony, our leadership training and family education, as well as our international projects in Haiti, the Philippines, and our schools of Africa, where we provide basic medical care, HIV and AIDS prevention, vocational training, and education. We need your help. We are sustained and supported by our members. Become a member today. It's easy. Go to WFWP.US and join in just 5 minutes. Together, we can make a lasting difference. Let's create world peace.
Buhay sa Amerika. Join us again next time at entremujeresradio.net. Hanggang sa muli, mabuhay!